afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for May 22nd, 2021, Saturday. Picture that at the core of every inner cyclone is pure stillness. And no amount of outer craziness can shake it. And it can never be disturbed. This is a profound center of peace, only gets stronger as the mind becomes more insane. So the stillness cannot be destroyed because it is who you, all of us, truly are. All you got to do, close your eyes, rest in stillness now. It's unshakable. We can go there anytime we choose. There are 1,000 paths to enlightenment and 1,000,000 doors we can walk through to experience this moment as divine. One of these precious doors is not so easy or obvious to see, yet we unconsciously step through it every single day. And it's a perpetual swinging door of judgment. We are so often unaware whenever we are passing judgment and oblivious of how it is a secret passageway to the most enlightened and heavenly state of being. And it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter if we are conscious human beings or not. Our minds are constantly judging us, other people, this world, and anything that it can get a hold of. The mind was born with this master-like judgeaholic power. It can judge anything in milliseconds. And we may not have realized this yet. And probably in the last 15 minutes, your mind passed 10 judgments on yourself, someone else, or something in the world around you as either good or bad. And this judgmental mind is perpetually busy working away at labeling this life. And this workaholic is a slippery gremlin to catch. We are so accustomed to the mind judging everything in this life. It's as if we've been soaking our hands in warm water for 25 years, and we don't realize that it's completely wrinkled and about to fall off. So just to clarify exactly what judgment is, judgment is the mind labeling something in life as either good or bad, but not both. It's either good, either bad, but it isn't both. It is a one-sided viewpoint of existence, which separates and divides. And interestingly enough, judgment manifests only when we are living up in the head and are disconnected from our hearts. It's the only time it happens. When we are living from the heart, the mind cannot judge. This occurs because the heart is free from duality, and the mind can only exist in duality, seeing black and white. Now, the heart cannot get hooked in whatever the mind believes is only good or only bad. When the heart is leading the way, we are free from the perpetual prison of the judging mind. If we are to be free from judgment, we must choose to drop out of the head and into the heart. The mind will quiet and become very still. And from this space, we can watch our mind closely and see how slippery its judgmental habit is. We can see how it tends to avoid what it deems is scary. The mind often believes that if I get what I want, this is good, then I will be happy. That's the mind. And if I get what I don't want, this is bad, then I'll be unhappy. The most enlightened path, however, is understanding that in this great divine, supreme, all-intelligent universe, we are going to get it all. We always, always, always get what we want and what we don't want. You might want to catch yourself because, most of us will say, I don't want that. I don't want that to happen. Instead of saying that, because the universe is going to respond and give it to you, instead of responding, I don't care to have that. It shifts the energies. The universe understands. But when you say what you don't want, you're going to get. For example, we might manifest our dream partner or soulmate, only to later realize that they trigger our deepest, darkest issues and child insecurities to surface every day. Or perhaps we spend half our life running in the great societal rat race, being devoted to striving and achieving big, luxurious dreams and becoming financially free, only to realize later that we missed out on so many beautiful sunsets while we were indoors chasing some fantasy. Life is always both. We get ending, the death of the body, and birth of the body. We always get both. And this polar opposite is inside everything that exists. The yin is contained within the yang, and the yang within the yin. In other words, where there's good, there's bad, and where there's bad, there's good. The more often we practice seeing, feeling into, and accepting how we always get what we want and what we don't want in this life, the judgmental mind just drops on its own accord. So we naturally start living every day in deep harmony with existence. We become vulnerable to existence again. And in this sweet humility, we can feel the great perfection of this life. And we deeply accept that this existence is the expression of the highest intelligence, and that the good, bad judgment plan is the smartest plan available from God to create a spiritual awakening experience inside every being on this earth. See if you can find a single situation, person or thing of this world that is only 100% positive and does not also have the tiniest hidden negative byproduct within it. Now, if you think you found something like a new flower budding or an amazing sunset, just wait and investigate it a bit longer, as both sides will eventually show. There's always another side to the coin, as the flower will one day wither away and the amazing sunset colors always fade into the darkness. We always get both. The rose always comes with a few thorns, even if they are small. So it's up to us to choose to free ourselves from the judgment habit. And we can do this. We just start looking deeper into ourselves and accept any judgments that we may have. Like, I'm too fat, too short, too ugly, too poor, too dumb, too smart, too much in my head. Welcome all the judgments that you have about yourself. And just don't reject, avoid, or judge them. See them for what they are. They are one-sided judgments that you have about you. And when you can truly see and welcome the judgment, it will have less energy and magnetic pull on you. In a matter of minutes, the contracting hard feeling around the judgmental thought will lessen. Drop into stillness, and you will become truly free from it. So as far as this welcoming process works, the secret is moving totally into the experience of judging. When you consciously are feeling only one side of the judgment, awareness grows in you. You cannot fall into the old judgment again so easily the next time. You can see just how it impacts your mind, your emotions, and your heart. And when you remain in a one-sided experience of life deeply and fully for a long time, something inside you will soon tire, and then the judgment pendulum just swings to the other side. For example, you may feel and say, as many have, I am never good enough. I cannot do anything right. After welcoming that judgment and feeling for 5, 10, or even 20 minutes, something in you will exhaust itself, release the contraction, and wake up. The smaller, more enlightened aspect inside you will sneak in, perceive that that on some level you are doing everything right and you are totally good enough. And when you welcome the judgment pendulum soon swings, and this allows you to know what perfect peace feels like. Now, some people may think that always welcoming and acknowledging both the good and the bad in this life is just some boring, fatalistic, nihilistic, uncreative path that only leads to a state of apathy. Quite the contrary is true. By learning to accept and welcome it all, we find that we are truly okay with everything that is and feel a more spacious quality within ourselves. We feel we have more limit to develop our ability to expand consciousness and relax into our lives. And from this expanded space, we dramatically increase our manifesting vibration, deepen our state of inner peace, and become a magnet for the most amazing life situations to occur. You will find that the welcoming process is extremely powerful, simply because it leaves nothing out. It comes from a deep spiritual place inside you that is saying yes to the totality of your existence. You are just not interested in fighting, proving anything, or resisting life anymore. Instead, you move and feel totally fluid, like water, without resistance, force, or control. And in this state, it's so easy to realize that God is everywhere and in everything. Don't judge the day by the harvest you reap, but by the seeds you plant. Robert Louis Stevenson. It is this deep, welcoming mind that creates an enlightened mindset where we all actually feel, see, and understand the divine perfection of this life. We become more interesting people as we stop wasting our energy trying to negate others, ourselves, or continuously be upset with the way life is. In a mind that is free from all judgments of ourselves and others, we naturally appreciate it all. We can see that the glass is half empty and half full at the same time. We can feel this infinite empty universe all around us, and also sense how the sun is always rising somewhere on this planet, sharing and radiating its brilliant light. Living in this enlightened mindset is like floating in a sea of orgasm. Waves of deep cosmic opening to joy, happiness, appreciation, and ecstasy can actually waft through our bodies at any time. When the mind is not occupied with judgments, we have more energy to make more love, explore our spiritual nature, taste the freedom that exists at the core of our being. When we can live daily in this enlightened mindset, everything inside us changes. All the previous pain we've been carrying seemed to have mysteriously disappeared. We can naturally and fully relax into our divine, balanced nature. This judgment-free, enlightened mind is our most natural state. It is already inside us and exists at the core of who we are, at the seed of our consciousness itself. We can only experience it directly, however, when we have respect and reverence for the perfect balance that exists in everything. When we acknowledge the divine balance within every situation, person, coincidence, accidents, belief, memory, and atom throughout the universe, we can open up to it. And the more acceptance we have that there's always good in the bad and bad in the good, something deeper inside us, let's go. And we finally relax into our deepest spiritual experience of this life. When the mind calls off the search for defining and redefining what's good and bad, we have an infinite reservoir of creative energy to surrender fully to our soul. This enlightened life is not just about cultivating a deeper relationship with our minds. It's about getting beyond the mind. When we master our minds, we no longer live in fear. When the mind falls from its altar, we rise to the summit. As we learn how to drop into a perpetual state of surrender, allowing the greater intelligence of this universe to run the entire show, we see how every precious moment in this life has this bigger universal force behind it all. In seeing this, the mind totally gives up, and we realize that we have become the perfection that exists within everything. With enough awareness, we can totally stop the judgmental mind habit and wake up from the addiction. Then we'll know what real freedom is like. And nothing else will satisfy more than this freedom. This true freedom is free from all forms of pain. It is the greatest experience of this life. This means the mind can slip back into clinging to delusion and desire, and you don't. The mind might crave, whine, yearn to be free, yet you know that you are the one behind it who is actually already free. You remain the watcher, deeply detached and liberated from the mind's antics. It's the greatest, deep, eternal love of all when you realize that you are not your mind. The more we practice welcoming judgments, the easier it becomes to see the mind on how to be free from it. When we can always see the good, the bad, and the balanced meeting of the two, then the struggle of this life doesn't matter so much anymore. The mind soon gets trained to only see balance and perfection. It automatically observes how the good is in the bad and the bad is in the good, and how these two worlds always collide, and there is nothing left but freedom. There is just the pure observer watching and witnessing it all. Rely on the essence of your pure wisdom mind, not on judgmental perceptions. Rely on the spirit and meaning of the teachings, not on the words. Buddhist teaching. The enlightened, judgment-free mind is always available and shows up when we release the need to be right and instead create more room to be happy. Happiness through inner peace becomes our goal. Instead of striving and focusing on surviving this life, with inner peace as the priority, the dualistic mind soon becomes free from attachment, desire, resistance, and contraction. We surrender to the heart and can actually feel deeply okay with whatever manifests and does not manifest in our lives. The enlightened mindset is not hard to achieve. It just takes the most deeply rooted devotion to ourselves. We must choose to be willing to know ourselves intimately and never stray from exploring further about who and what we are. And this exploration leads to a profound honoring of the sacredness in all things in this life. We start honoring that this balanced state of perfection is everywhere, and we have nothing to complain about or try to change in ourselves anymore. Instead, we start worshiping everything around us. We see everything and everyone as the divine in physical form. We bow down to this very ordinary life and call it God. We look into a blade of grass and understand how it's just as sacred and important as our entire galaxy. To remain in a judgment-free, enlightened mind every day, we must choose to look at what cannot be looked at and revel in being totally real with our pain. If we wish to remain liberated, we must be willing to see where we are still in prison fighting to get out. As long as we are fighting, we are still not truly free. So we must always be aware of the slippery mind. We must never allow the sneaky judgments to take over us again. We must be 100% creatively devoted to continuously being awake, aware, and ready to step beyond a seemingly safe judgmental world. We must choose to become the black sheep of this world if we are to be truly free. We cannot ever agree with anyone who says that some things are just 100% bad and nothing good at all will ever come out of it. We must stop all movement whenever any judgment arises. We must watch our thoughts and beliefs vigilantly. Be totally aware whenever the mind starts believing in some final truth. We must choose to do everything we can so that the ego cannot harden and cling to any opinions formed or thoughts containing right and wrong beliefs. This path takes some serious devotion. Blaming holds you in the energy of the duality of victim and abuser. Forgiving is a direct way of reclaiming your power and freeing yourself to love beyond judgment. grace alone. Now, some people will tell you how this universe is not already in a perfect design. They might try to make you believe or become a believer that you should only get what you want, nothing else. It seems like the ideal situation to be in, right? Well, the spiritual awakening process is always much deeper and much more complex than it appears to be. If this universe was set up this way, the great mystery would be gone. If we should never know what a block, problem, pain, or failure was like, we would be without direction, feel perpetually numb, have no longing to dig deep inside our souls to find our life mission. Creativity and spiritual path. This universe is already set up in the most intelligent manner. It's designed so that we can get a good solid taste of suffering, anxiety, or inner turmoil and use it to awaken within. Whenever we go unconscious and forget the divine, all-intelligent universe is everywhere around us, we instantly suffer. Whenever we allow the mind to form any judgment and register only on one side of this reality, our problems begin. The universe loves us so much that it doesn't want us to live in any lie. So it wakes us up with a little stress, anxiety, or emotional pain. If we don't stop and drop our judgments, another level of suffering will soon manifest. This pain is our most perfect and most loving teacher, and by welcoming it fully, we are led back to our real state of love, enlightenment, and freedom. The moment you start seeing life as non-serious, a playfulness, all the burden on your heart disappears. All the fear of death, of life, of love, everything disappears. One starts living with a very light weight or almost no weight. So weightless, as a matter of fact, one can fly in the open sky. Osho. So if you will, go to a place where you're not going to be interrupted, and I'm sure we all are. And the first thing that we care to do is relax our bodies. A stressed body is not going to afford you any form of relaxation. A stressed body will keep you from going within. A stressed body will keep you from being in the center, the core of your being, the God that you are. So a stressed body just cannot be. And when we discover that all of us, one way, shape, form, or another, carry stress, then when the stress is presented to us, we embrace the stress. We don't ignore it. Take something artificial to alleviate it. We just understand what's the root of our stress. Is it the mind? Could be. Most likely. The ego? Most likely. And what is it? What is it doing? Well, the mind is judging everything, and it's evaluating everything, and it's sending all of that to you, and then you're kind of pushing it over here and over here and over here and over here. So when you start relaxing and you just accept, invite, what do you think the mind does? It goes to sleep. The mind goes to sleep. When you relax your body, you'll know it genuinely, truly. Because all of a sudden, you'll be in a place is completely silent. It doesn't matter what noise is outside of you, you won't hear it because you're not there. All the frustration, all exasperation, all the attachments, all the expectations fold away. They fold away. And the body, like Osho says, it becomes so weightless, you feel like you can fly in the open sky. And you're not in the head. You're in the heart. And your body, you'll know this, when your body feels as light as a feather. And when that happens, you've eliminated the suffering, vanished. And then we move into the now. And the now is all we have. The now is all powerful. Because you're only in the moment to moment, the space between heartbeats. It is a void that leads you into the center of your very existence, your very being, the God. You're not interested in knowing anything else or focusing on anything else through the heart-mind but the now. In the now, you create the future. In the now, the past does not exist. Only the now. You don't look over your shoulder. You keep moving forward. You don't wander back. You move forward. Yeah, there'll be some side paths that you'll notice. And if you allow the mind to guide and master you, you may take them. And if you're in the mind, you'll be hoping that something phenomenal you'll be finding that you can have. We all have memories, and we reminisce, which is fun and it's enjoyable. Some of us get caught in the past through the mind. And the mind and the ego embrace the fear of moving forward into the now, so we feel more comfortable in the past. Some of us will eventually stay there so long that we will bring that past into a future that doesn't exist. We will create that future from that past, and we will relive that past in that future. That's why people will say, no matter what I do, it seems like I always end up here. Some of us will wander into a future that doesn't exist because we're always asking ourselves, when is this going to happen? When am I going to have this? I really want this, and when am I going to have it? I got to know. But in the now, we wonder. We dream, moment to moment. And we still the ego mind and the subconscious mind. That chatter, tens of thousands of thoughts, gone. We don't have them. How do we stay in the now? How do we? Because, we wander off. These thoughts kind of float in like a cloud in the sky, and we grab onto it. That doesn't necessarily mean we're consciously aware of it, but we grab onto it. We've all experienced that numerous times. You're focused on one thing, and the next thing you know, you're wandering off into somewhere, and just, like, where? What in the heck? But the fun part is that you're consciously aware of it, and that's the mind and the ego taking you off into those thoughts. So, you move into the heart, you focus on your breath. Your breath is divine positive energy. The soul enters the body, powers the body, so that the body can generate the breath to sustain the body that holds the soul. It focuses us, relaxes us, strengthens us, eases us. So 3,000% of the time, every single time you focus on your breath, you're in the now. You cannot not be. You're always in the now when you focus on your breath. Now, it may be a couple of seconds, first breath in and breath out, but then watch what happens. And whenever you find yourself wandering into the past or the future that doesn't exist, you will know exactly what to do. And only you can choose to do that. Now remember, you're not the body, you're the God in the body. So you can see your body, you can watch it. You can see how it operates. You can also watch the ego and the mind and the subconscious mind. You can watch these. This is how you master them. There's no other way to master them. So you begin to look at the body, and you notice that there are these 7 globes almost, wheels of light, and they're very bright, and they're going from the base of the spine of the body all the way to the top of the head. And these, we all know, are energy vortexes, chakras, and that is where you, the God, flows through the body. And you flow in all directions in the body, because each one of these chakras connect to your emotions, the body's emotions, and organs, the biologics. And in an unconscious way, we can block the God that we are. We can block these energy vortexes. Through what? Through the mind and the ego. When you finally figure it out, that every time you enter the mind and the ego, you're going to begin to suffer. That's it. Okay? So you become aware as the God that you are, not in judgment, that's the ego mind. But you become aware as the watcher. So therefore, you are not interested in choosing that at all, where you embrace the ego mind. And you stay in the calmness, which is your natural state of being. So we flow as energy, cosmic energy, through these bodies. And we're like a fountain. And the fountain comes up, starts right at the root chakra, the red wheel's light, and goes all the way through the chakras, all the way to the crown chakra. And then it fountains like pure cosmic energy up around and back up around, and it's just continually perpetual. Now, if you'll notice, when you see a rainbow, which you're going to start seeing more on this planet, when you see a rainbow, most people don't realize, but the rainbow is the same vibrant colors as those 7 chakras. Interesting, isn't it? Could it be that this planet Earth Gaia Arya, in its God, is shining out to remind all of us of the God within us that is shining out? These bodies that we're in, the higher self, the soul, the spirit, the God, the pure consciousness, the ego mind, the heart mind, the subconscious mind, all one. We are heaven on this earth. Soul's the heaven, the body's the earth. Every single step we take, we're creating paradise. But you can't see that paradise if the mind and the ego has mastered you. You only see it when you drop into the heart. And we shine our light, all of us, whether consciously or unconsciously, 24/7, 360 degrees. And we shine that light, which is a God-love light energy. It's who we are. And our auras, colors of the 7 chakras, coming from the God that we are. The indigo, the violet, the yellow, the orange, the emerald green, the red, the violet, all of them. And our bright white light saturates everything. All life, the highest supreme value in the universe. All of our brothers and sisters, constantly. You choose to see it and be in the heart. You will not only see it, you will experience it. This planet is being transformed into a God planet. Makes sense, doesn't it? All the gods are the lights. The planet glows, and it is a paradise. And all the gods, through the heart mind, enjoy this paradise, which is them and everything else. Now, we are consciously aware that we're of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude. And doesn't it make sense that we reach out to other parts of ourselves that are consciously aware? Those that are not consciously aware will not hear us. That's not a bad thing. It's just where they're at. So the archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, the archetypes, the ascended masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Sananda, Christ, El Morya, Abundantia, Hell, Thoth, Yahweh, Yeshua, many, many, many more. Now the archangels, their civilization have vibrated at a different frequency than we do. We don't see them like we see each other, but we do meet them, and we do interact with them more times than we really are aware of. And the interesting thing is that it doesn't dawn on us really most of the time that only after we've met with them and we're going about our day or night or morning But they always have the same message, but it is delivered in countless ways. And when it boils down to the message, isn't it absolutely glorious, spectacular, phenomenal to be alive in these bodies? And our answer? Emphatically, yes, it is. Now, the archangels can surround any one of us in the tens of thousands. Because of their vibrational frequency, they can house a large number in a small area. The ascended masters are those who have mastered ascending into physical form, and out of physical form, hold pure consciousness, God form. We have ascended into physical form, are mastering physical form, and we are creating our experiences to perfect our creations. And if we're fortunate enough, through our own understanding, as the gods we are, we would discover that we are the light. We don't follow the light, we are the light. So when we decide to leave these bodies, we will not follow the light, because we are the light, the love, the God, the pure consciousness. So we reach out to the other parts of ourselves that are consciously aware. And all the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, and beneath her. Yet, only those who are consciously aware that they are of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, as the archangels, cherubim, seraphim archetypes, and the ascended masters are. They can only join us when they're consciously aware in this meditation. Now, they come in the billions, and they are with us now consciously. We call upon all the light energy beings out there that are in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. Yet, only those who are consciously aware that they're of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation, to form this circle of light and the complete liberation of this planet. Now, they come in the gigaplexes. One gigaplex fills this entire universe with no sacred space to spare. They come in trillions of gigaplexes from every direction, from trillions of universes. And they are with us now consciously. We call upon all the off-worlders, all the galactics, all the celestials. Yet only those who are consciously aware that they're of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation, forming the circle of light, the complete liberation of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, in this now. Now, we're only familiar with a smidgen of them. Over 1,000 travel through the solar system every day. Trillions throughout the universes every day. Ones that we're somewhat familiar with, the fairies, the Pleiadians, the Sirians, the Andromedans, the Arcturians, the feline, the Zeta Reticuli, the Nords, the Greys, the Draco, the Reptilian, the Golden Pyramid, the Avian, many, many, many more. And they have been assisting us in our evolution, in our enlightenment, in our ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. And consciously, they are with us now. We call upon all of our loved ones, all those who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. Yet, only those who are consciously aware that they are of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation, forming the circle of light and a complete liberation of this planet. And they come in the billions, and they are with us now consciously. We call upon all the light energy beings who have decided to be housed in the following forms on and above and below this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. Yet, only those who are consciously aware that they're of and from the highest of the deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of the deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation, and form the circle of light and the complete liberation of this planet. Now, they come in the trillions in numbers, shapes, color, sizes, forms, configurations in which we've never seen. As a matter of fact, with the eyes that we have with these bodies, we only see 1% of what is. The ones that we're somewhat familiar with, the fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trees, the trolls, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether, wood, the mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, the minotaur, and many, many, many more. And they come in the trillions, and they are with us now consciously. And we're all gathered, arm in arm, hand in hand, in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance. And we're all one, and we're all God, and we're all love. And our God force, love, light, energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And it continues to intensify, and it continues to expand. We immediately form a massive circle of light around the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. This circle of light emanates from the God source within each and every one of us. It is so brilliant that it grays out the darkness of sacred space. It would take over 1,000 trillion suns to even come close to its radiance. And this is who we are. Pure, deep, eternal love. Flooding everything on this planet, on it, in it, above and below it. All life, the highest supreme value in the universe. All of our brothers and sisters, whether they're awake or asleep. We're flooding everything with the God force, love, light, energy that we all are. And we aren't just doing it haphazardly, we're doing it continuously, eternally. And it never ends. So we begin to ascend. And as we do, we immediately are met with this massive ocean of glitter. It is everywhere. It's flashing every direction, back and forth. Trillions of vibrant colors. And we notice that at the reflection points of these flashes of light, we see these microscopic mirrors, and we're able to enter them. And then we discover that all of us, eternally, in this endless journey, are always teaching each other. We are both students and teachers. It's absolutely magnificent, spectacular, phenomenal. Always, never, ever not. We are teaching. We are learning. We are learning. We are teaching. We're immediately met with the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. This is the column of light that reminds us all that we are the power of healing. We are then met with the violet, blue, purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is a column of light that reminds us all of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. We are then met with the white fire. This is a column of light that reminds each and every single one of us that from head to toe, inside and out, we are imbued with a white fire armor. And it emanates from the God force, love, light, energy within each and every one of us. This armor can't be penetrated. It isn't an armor of a knight. It is the armor of a God. It cannot be penetrated. Its vibrational frequency is immeasurable. Of the highest high of deep eternal love, gratitude, and peace. No demon possession, no attachments, no lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies. Nothing can come close to it, ever. Yet, only you have the power that if you decide to lower your vibrational frequency low enough, whether consciously or unconsciously, through hatred, greed, envy, manipulation, deceit, lies, stress, anxiety, fear, worry, you will create a breach in your white fire armor, enough so to allow the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies to come flooding in. If you do decide to do this, you are immediately met with the purple transmuting flame. This is a column of light that reminds us all that we can bring in the purple transmuting flame. We can transmute all these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutral light substance, sending them to pure consciousness where they are vaporized. They are no more. We are then met with the violet ray. This is the column of light that reminds us all that we can bring in the violet ray right behind the purple transmuting flame. We can cleanse and purify the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies once were, sealing the breach in our white fire armor and restoring our vibrational harmony of the highest high of deep eternal love and gratitude and peace. We are then met with the golden white pink light. This is the column of light that reminds us all that we are the sun. We are the sunlight. We are the clouds in the sky. We are the sunsets and the sunrises. We are the trees and forests and the soils. We are the animals. We are the oceans, the rivers, the lakes, the streams. We're everything, and everything is us. So the next time that you see or view a sunset or a sunrise or a beautiful rainbow, it is you. It is you, the beauty in those sunsets and the rainbow. It is you, divine perfection. You are the God. We all are. We are divine perfection. We continue to levitate above the planet. Some of us step outside our physical forms and hover effortlessly above them, if we're carrying physical form. Why do we do this? Because we can. We come into full view of this massive crystalline light tower which we created. It's larger than this solar system. That is big. We see this massive oblong sphere with a golden white light ball in the center, and it's surrounded by numerous beautiful, vibrant, multicolored rings of light. And they're all sending these vibrant colored waves that literally penetrate us warm, head to toe, inside and out, nonstop. And we discover that the golden white ball of light is pure, deep, eternal love. Then comes pure, deep, eternal gratitude and pure, deep, eternal peace, well-being, bliss, joy, peace, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, tranquility, benevolence, great abundance, great wealth. And it is all us. This is a reflection of the gods within us. All of this. It is what and who we truly are. Now, at the top of this column, we designed it so the golden ocean comes cascading down 360 degrees eternally, as it's doing right now, flooding and saturating and bathing all of us head to toe inside now with the highest of the highest high, deep, eternal love. And you see why this planet is on high acceleration of liberation, of ascension into higher frequencies? Feel it through your heart minds. There's no question about it. The only question that will arise is from the ego mind. Now, this golden ocean, we are drops of this golden ocean. We also hold the essence of this golden ocean. The ocean is the drops, and the drops are the ocean. The only illusion is separation. We see our meditative sphere. It's that center circle. We created this sphere over 3 years ago. It holds almost 1,400 of our meditations in perpetual motion. 1,400 days. Thousands of hours. Hundreds of millions of us on and off world gathered with the God-loving intent of total liberation of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and all of its civilization into the higher and higher and higher frequencies of pure, deep, eternal love, gratitude, and peace. Every day, non-stop, and continuing. And all of this is flooding all of us, inside and out, head to toe, eternally. Infinity. This is why this sphere can be seen, heard, and felt, and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. This is why it continues to intensify and it continues to expand. See yourself in a massive ocean, all of us gathered here, in this massive ocean, and understand that we're all one in this massive ocean. The mind tries to convince you that you're separate. You are not. I'll join you in the meditation, and I'll return to close this out. Take an easy breath in through the nose. An easy breath out through the mouth. Move easily and slowly. You're the God through the heart-mind. By choosing to stay in the heart-mind, your suffering ends. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, and into the following morning. And we will be back here Sunday, May 23rd, 2021, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call.